Hey, what is going on, guys? Futures Tech here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys why portless is the future. So, Apple gets a lot of crap about removing things, okay? They're always constantly removing things in favor of something new, or just removing things in general for the sake of technology advancing. For instance, the headphone jack, which needs to die, by the way. I can make a whole nother video just ranting about the headphone jack. But the second we get rid of the headphone jack, the sooner tech companies are going to start investing more money into wireless technology, and the sooner, the faster, and the better this technology is going to become. That made no sense. If everyone got rid of the headphone jack, that would force third-party companies to invest a lot more money into developing better Bluetooth technology. Apple is always the bad guy when it comes to this stuff. Think about USB. Everyone uses USB on a daily basis. You know, now Apple's pushing USB-C, but before then, everything had USB. And no one is disputing that, right? USB is awesome. Well, back then, when Apple was a pretty new company, they refused to put serial ports on their devices, which was the USB of back then. They were like, nope, USB's the future. And they put USBs on their machines and refused serial ports. And everyone got pissed off. Everyone got mad at Apple for doing that. And look, everyone followed suit after a couple years, and now USB's mainstream. That's what they're doing with USB-C now. But my point is, Apple's a very influential company. When they embrace something, usually companies follow suit because Apple takes the brunt of the blame. They get the initial hate. And then when other companies follow suit, they don't get as much hate because they weren't the ones that caused this horrible epidemic. The iPhone 7 Plus got tons of hate for removing the headphone jack, even from Google. And then the year after that, they removed the headphone jack. Yes, they got hate, but they did not get nearly the amount of hate that Apple did because they were the first to do it. But this is important. This helps embrace change and innovation because, like I said earlier, this forces third-party companies to adopt these new technologies or to put a lot of money into these new technologies in fear of becoming obsolete. This results in technology advancing faster than it would have we keep these things around. Because let's say Apple didn't remove the headphone jack, okay? Google wouldn't have removed it. We wouldn't see this headphone jack mass death. Now, all these third-party companies aren't going to need to put money into wireless technology, into Bluetooth technology. We wouldn't have AirPods, which have an insane customer satisfaction rating. So my point is, Apple doesn't just do this to be a jerk. They do this because they want to advance technology. I don't know if courage is the right word, but I think it's good that they're doing this. So now let's talk about if Apple removed the Lightning port. That would get so much hate, but it's okay. But it would be worth it. I know you'd see all the memes, well, Apple's gonna remove the screen next. What's next? They're gonna remove the power button? You know, okay, yeah, that's hilarious. But it would really force companies to innovate. In 2016, according to a study, 43.5% of the United States use iPhones. That's a huge market. If that market decides they don't want to use cords anymore, you are now forcing companies to develop better inductive charging technologies and even true wireless charging, because that's almost half the market in the US that you're now missing out on because they can't use plugs to charge their phone. I know that the adoption rate for iPhones is 43% of the United States is not going to buy an iPhone the first year it comes out, okay? But a lot of people do. They usually sell around 10 million iPhones on the launch weekend. 10 million phones. That is a ton of phones that do not need lightning cables, that need wireless chargers. If you're a third-party company and you develop a wireless charger that's really good, you're going to sell tons of stock. You're going to be moving stock like nothing. They're going to be selling like hotcakes because now these people need an inductive charging surface or some sort of wireless charging. And I just like to add, if you own an iPhone 8, an iPhone 8 Plus, or an iPhone 10, you could use that device for its entire life cycle and never use the Lightning port. You could get AirPods or some other Bluetooth headphones if you want to listen to music. And if you want to charge it, you can use an inductive charging mat. I mean, you don't even need the port. So if Apple removed it, it wouldn't be a horrible thing for consumers. Yes, you couldn't plug your phone in to charge it, but you could set it on a mat. And I'd say by the time they release a phone without a lightning port in a couple years, there will be wireless charging within a couple feet. So you won't even have to set your phone down. You'll just be able to hold it, play on it, and it'll be charging as you sit near this hub that charges your device. So my point is, we don't need the lightning port now, and we're definitely not going to need it in a couple years. So Apple, do the world a favor, go ahead and remove it. Don't remove it this year, but next year you better be removing it. I expect there not to be a lightning port next year, Apple. 2019, get rid of it. Because the sooner you do, the sooner we're gonna have a technology explosion. The sooner we're gonna see mass improvements in truly wireless charging and faster speeds in inductive charging. Apple, do the world a favor and take the blame, remove the lightning port. That's it for today's video, guys. Leave me a like if you liked it, if you thought it was insightful, if you think I brought up some good points. Leave a dislike if you just are totally against the idea of Apple removing that port. If you're totally against it, or maybe you're an Android fanboy, leave it a dislike. Just let me know in the comments below. Did I leave something out? Is there a good point I could have brought up? Anyway, talk to you guys in the next one. Later, guys.